Na si mtu. Na wewe ulienda kuchukua hiyo kitu ya nini na ilikuwa bedroom? Sasa unajua mnachukua mara kioo hakuna, mara nini? Yaani there's Alright guys, welcome to Life Saga TV, and we are coming up with our today's video. Of course, we have so much in the house, but we may just focus on few aspects. How about Tanzania? Of course, Tanzania today is indicated to be calm after a toll on death of so many people have been indicated to have dumped in the oceans. But of course, today it has been indicated that the mortuaries were now open and bodies were being ferried to the mortuaries so that the people can go and check on their beloved ones. We hope that through that, now those who are actually having a problem with their loved ones will finally get their fallen loved ones and go bury them. After mentioning something to do with death, Babu Owino has launched a case on Samia following the passing away of a teacher in Tanzania. Given that he was actually teaching there for 9 years, then he was shot on the way back home while planning to come back to Kenya, and later on his body was not traceable. This is an issue that has triggered Babu Owino to launch, or rather to sue Samia. And I don't know what will happen with this case, but when you come up and check on the readings, you will find something about the same. I may not be coming up with the receipts to show everything, but if you check using the titles I'm spelling out, you'll be able to get these details. So of course today there has been an emerging detail on Babu Owino trying to even talk to Musalia Mudavadi and ask why he would be protecting a country that is lacking democracy at the expense of his own nation. Away from that, many citizens have blamed Kindiki. Kindiki, as the vice president of Kenya, why he had to smile all the way to Tanzania and sit in a delegation of people who are in a private barrack, military secured place for someone who was a tyrant. And of course, many other people have been blamed for the same. I don't know for your case what you've seen about Tanzania, but so far it's not a very glossy environment ever. Because even Barack Obama himself and Trump have indicated that Tanzania is not a safe haven for anybody, and they have advised many of their own never to visit Tanzania currently. I don't know how long it will take for things to come just to the normality, because some videos that have been shown prove that Tanzania is in a normal situation, but then there are still questions surrounding it. So let me show some videos here. I want to show some videos based on that situation of Tanzania as we go through whatever is happening. And I would wish you go check on what Babu Owino has actually done. Meanwhile, we know very well that Babu Owino is also battling in Kenya, and Oburu Odinga the other day embraced him. So maybe I'll check on that as I go to Tanzania case. And this is the Teresa. Of course, let's check on this before we go back to Tanzania situation.
Don't push them, bring them in, and people like Babu, personally, I would like to bring him in, bring him on board, let him feel comfortable that he is part and parcel of the party, and that if there is competition, he will be given a fair chance to compete with others, and the best should win.
The second reason why Babu Owino was rebelling.
Actually, we've seen on that. So Oburu Odinga is actually embracing Babu. Unlike what was previously there, Babu Owino seemed to be receiving a lot of competition from ODM side that was approving Sakaja and other candidates on his behalf. Now, currently, many people think that Babu Owino can win in any place, and they are believing that if Babu Owino goes back to Nairobi, because he is this G in town, he's going to actually lead Nairobi. Then after that, he can go to Nyanza and solicit for votes for the ODM candidate who may be running, maybe as a running mate in not a running mate as such, but who may be running for presidential seat. I don't know what you think about this, but let's spare that as we go to the current situation of what was unraveling in air, with Babu Owino having a decision. He had a decision to stage a case against Suluhu. Let's just check on this. Where is this?
The Member of Parliament of Embakasi East said this.
Of course, we may not get to have a video, but we have this document here that Honorable Babu Owino signed. And I don't know whether you can read it clearly. This was in relation to the killings, especially to that teacher in Tanzania. And the document was indicating that Samia is worth being sued. And Babu Owino indicated that someone like Mudavadi should not be protecting Tanzania, when in reality,
Samia Suluhu Hassan.
Imaso nichekie vitu venye apiko andike list nitumie. All right, so let's proceed as we go by. The problem is once someone calls, I can't see the charts anymore, but it's okay. And again, I can't turn my camera properly to check on what is there. Wacha niandike vingine kwanza. Anabel. Sukari iko kilo 1.5. Hiyo tunataka kusema. Hii tuweke tuoma. Hai. Ni 1 lakini ni 2 kg. Treasure. Baso peko. Tishu iko.
Subira poga.
Nini ingine?
Sushi niangalia.
Ingine angalia alafu andike. Yeah, so welcome to the channel. I still encourage you to keep subscribing to the channel because we are still at 300 and something subscribers, and we are targeting at least 500 subscribers at the end of the month, and then we proceed to more goals ahead of us. So of course, when we see the kind of push and pull that is happening, and I don't know what is going to happen. Like AU actually came up to give very different news about Tanzania, and I was so perplexed because apparently the AU leader Mohamud had come up to condemn the death in Tanzania. Then later on he appraised Suluhu for being the winner, and we saw the whatever happened there. So let's just watch this, and I want you to listen to what AU says about Tanzania's election.
Tanzania's election did not comply with democratic standards. What do you make of the statement, and why now?
Thanks, Benja, for having me. Yeah, it's quite an interesting one because we've seen over the years SADC has lacked. It's been more barking than biting. In a sense, what I call it that. But I think it has to do with SADC's been a bit under pressure of late, considering what previous elections have been across the continent, where European or Western observers and human rights organizations have said, you know what, these elections are not free and fair in certain countries. So I think they've been under pressure to do something. And the fact in Tanzania that it was quite blatant, as you mentioned, there's been some challenges around that. But the fact that the internet was shut down and that when the foreign minister was questioned on the Saturday, last week Saturday after the elections, he couldn't give.
Yeah, so it's so funny that
quite a coherent answer as to why the internet was shut down.
I found it funny that even though we as the normal YouTubers, we actually saw how some videos surfaced and there was stuffing of ballot papers, and we had people marking the ballot papers and actually taking it for a joke, and even places where the turnout of the voters was low, still hii still sikununua juzi.
Kuna
Nilinunua. Kuna vitu umeacha haki. Ukitaka kuangalia vitu vizuri unaangalia vya kitchen kwanza, vya kuoga kwanza, vya nini hivyo. Najua hii ni kitu inafaa iende mpaka December. Bathing soap ngapi? 3. Hakuna kitu kingine hapo tumesahau. Hata 5,000.
Yes, okay.
Okay, welcome back. We were handling something, so I had to finish before I came back, but we are here for 1 hour. I hope the bundles will allow us and also time. So guys, I don't know why AU actually delayed to say that the election had flaws. All they had said is that they were death and demonstration, and they are sorry for that. They hope that they'll observe human rights. But then later on, a day later, after the Kenyans were actually going through a hard time yesterday, now that is when AU from Cape Town came up with an individual trying to say that there was a problem in elections in Tanzania, and that observers had witnessed ballot stuffing and issuance of multiple ballot papers. And of course, we saw in other videos how people had been trying to actually tick. Arthur. Hey, can you have some decorum? That noise is too much. Yeah, how they had been trying to stuff, to tick papers and all that. So how I wish they had communicated this earlier, but they never did so. Of course, that tells us there is a lot that was left just happening as it was. And it's only my hope and wish that things will turn better for Tanzanians and at the same time Kenyans, because from the state of affairs, I want to show you some video of Tanzania now as it looked today when it was opened up the boundaries a little bit, but with a lot of security, and at the same time we saw now the internet being open a little bit. Now people could share stuff. But remember, there was a clear message that Tanzanians should not share information openly. So I also know that they are going to have a vigilance on that, and they'll be confirming what is going out and in. But let's check on that video. Where is this one? On Tanzania. I don't want to take a lot of time on that. Hey, where is this now? I'm just wondering. I had a lot of videos here, and one of them was showing Tanzania currently. Whatever happened, I don't know. I can't even trace that video. So it seems that I may not be able to show that. But anyway, let's proceed with our discussions. Of course, the Tanzania case may be forgotten, or you can also check on other platforms and you will see what has to be done. But anyway, there is some in news that were quite shocking, and not just news but revelations that Rigathi Gachagua was revealing about our president. And it's unfortunate if this is the state of affairs. If this is true, based on what Rigathi Gachagua was sharing, we just are in hot soup. And this is what Rigathi Gachagua was sharing to us as citizens.
This holiday season, turn your home into a world of fun and adventure with StarTimes. System. In the record 3 years, he has destroyed the health system. In the record 3 years, ameharibu biashara. Kila kitu ameharibu, nothing is working. And he thinks Kenyans are foolish, that he can trust them, and they can trust him, and he has the capacity to make Kenya to be first world. Kama ile tumekupatia mwaka 3 umeharibu. Umeiba kila kitu. The only things you have succeeded, William Ruto, is abducting young people, killing young children, stealing everything. Sasa amefungua factory ya furniture Eldoret. So amesema msitu ifunguliwe, hiyo watu wakate miti wapeleke kwa factory yake. Everything is about him. Yeah? Yeah? Sindio? Yeye anataka to destroy the Mau forest because he has opened a factory ya furniture. So he is saying no imported furniture. Furniture yote itatoka kwa factory yake na miti itatoka kwa misitu yetu. So he wants to destroy all our forest, the whole ecosystem, and destroy it. Mambo amefungua factory ya chuma. Ndio sasa.
All right, so guys, I know you'll be watching. Maybe currently there are very few people watching because of news and what have you. But when it comes to such revelations that Gachagua was sharing, it was quite disappointing for Rigathi to actually share out to us that currently, when you see the bans on importation of furniture, is a result of the president actually having opened a furniture company in Eldoret. Just asking myself, is this the reason why we are really working so hard on crime? It's called the cybercrime law, so that people will not talk about these things, or what exactly is happening? Can you imagine one person dominating all businesses in a country, and it's not just one person, but the leader or the governor or the person in charge of making things better for the citizens? For some of us who are doing business, it has been so tough to even get to customers, so tough even to sell things out there. And when we look at such information, it's quite surprising. So let's listen to more.
Sasa anaweka mambo ya affordable housing. Amefungua factory ya tiles. This man is in every field ya biashara. Amechukua biashara yote Kenya. mpaka matatu amechukua na watoto wake. Sasa Sasa katika huko Mara ameweka hoteli. Aboseli, he is demanding from Governor Lenku 400 acres aweke hoteli. Huko Samburu National Park ameweka. This man has taken over all businesses and driven kila mfanyabiashara out of business. You know? Sasa tunashindwa, nyinyi vijana mkileta mchezo mkose kuchukua kura, kwa sababu nyinyi ndio tegemeo letu. You are the only guys who cannot bribe. You guys, you are the only people he cannot intimidate. You are the hope of this country. Without you guys, there will be no country. Please, my sons and daughters, I plead with you. Save this country. Save this country. Register as voters. Again, contest all these seats so that we can also have a good voter turnout when your supporters are coming to vote for you. Then tufukuze Kasongo, nyinyi mchukue nafasi tuendeshe Kenya yetu.
Now when you look at the tactics now, so actually when you listen to Rigathi Gachagua and what he's saying, if this is true, if what he's saying is true, it is really important that the young people, as he has said, actually take votes. So he has turned into voter education. At the same time, he has picked up the role of this guy from Kisii, who used to undig the Ghost Project. And he's not just talking about Ghost Project, but he's talking about some things that the president is doing and citizens do not know. So let's get to see. There was something else here. There was something else here I wanted to check on. Today the streets are so dry. Where are people? Where are people? Where are people? Where are people? Yeah, this is what I wanted to share and it was not appearing now. I found it, I'll share it as we go on.
Giving you up to 100k extra when you make your first deposit of the week. WezaBet, hii ndio inaweza.
Takuwa na kutaarifu kuhusiana na taarifa mbalimbali. Karibu, jina langu ni Hadia Mwasiwa. Imeondolewa huku mtandao ya kijamii ikiendelea kurejeshwa kwa awamu. Ripoti zinaarifu kwamba maafisa wa polisi wameanza kusafirisha miili ya wale waliouawa kutoka hifadhi ya maiti ya umma, huku jamaa zao za wale waliouawa ama waliofariki wakiwa bado wanaendelea kufuatilia miili ya wapendwa wao. Duru za kuaminika pia zinaarifu kuwa vyama vya upinzani vimekataa kushiriki mazungumzo ya kutafuta suluhu kuhusu mzozo ulioibuka.
So currently, after SULUHU was actually sworn in, she has tried to reach the opposition so that they have a solution towards the current situation, but they have rejected it, saying that they have no role in that. SULUHU should carry her burden. And of course, this is more about Tanzania.
Wameongeza kwamba hakukuwepo mawakala wa vyama vya siasa katika vituo vya kura na pia wakati wa zoezi la kuhesabu kura, huku baadhi ya waangalizi walitakiwa kuondoka kwenye vituo vya kura hali iliyozua mashaka kuhusu uadilifu wa mchakato huo.
Yeah, so currently the TVs now, Tanzania TVs are coming out to share information, but they are not sharing videos. And all they are saying is that observers were forced to come out of electoral, centers before the counting processes took over. And also there were no external bodies watching over the process itself. Okay.
Katika ripoti yao ya baada ya uchaguzi, waangalizi hao wa Umoja wa Mataifa wamesema kuwa walishuhudia masanduku yaliyojazwa kura hata kabla ya upigaji kura kuanza katika baadhi ya vituo vya kupigia kura.
Yeah, even before elections already some of the ballot papers had been filled. They observed that. And I don't know why they never reported. They reported that later.
Na wengine waliruhusiwa kupiga kura bila uthibitisho wa utambulisho.
Some went to vote and they were allowed to vote without even showing their documents. So I don't know why even they are blaming now invaders, and during that time they never wanted to check.
Wameongeza kwamba hakukuwepo mawakala wa vyama vya siasa katika vituo vya kura.
Yeah, the people from opposition were not there during the counting. They were forced to go away. The observers for other parties or agents.
Huku baadhi ya waangalizi walitakiwa kuondoka kwenye vituo vya kura, hali iliyozua mashaka kuhusu uadilifu wa mchakato huo. Licha ya madai yaliyotolewa na ujumbe wa waangalizi wa Umoja wa Afrika, serikali ya Tanzania imesema uchaguzi huo ulifanyika kwa njia huru, haki na uwazi. Rais Samia Suluhu Hassan alipata ushindi wa kishindo wa zaidi ya 97% ya nukuu. Wakati huo huo, ripoti ya waangalizi wa SADC kuhusu uchaguzi mkuu wa Tanzania ilibaini dosari kubwa ikiwemo.
Yeah, so the SADC report also gives a very different information from what SULUHU said. While SULUHU said that the electoral process was clear and transparent, SADC itself and even AU said that it was not. So clearly you can understand why the demonstrations were there, and therefore whatever we saw yesterday was just a cover-up for whatever was happening. Anyway, we've seen a lot of controversy actually in Tanzania, but even in Kenya now there is a lot of campaigns now cooking up. People are not now focused on development. Even the president himself now is running across the country and seeking positions, or rather a way to affirm his position rather than going into the process of developing the nation. And I don't know why they had to bring out, they somehow the social media is funny. They have had to bring out something to do with the report of RUTO during the time of Hague, the testimony.
And will, without any fear of contradiction, do so in the future. This is because I firmly believe in innocence, and secondly, that I believe in the rule of law. Your Honors, I am acutely aware of my civic duties and my obligations to this court. That is why voluntarily I will continue to cooperate with the court the same way my country, Kenya, voluntarily became a signatory to the Rome Statute.
Now, looking at that, we have to consider that the ground has shifted. Finally, as Kalonzo Musyoka today visited, that is Raila Odinga's grave, we saw how he went away with he went to visit with 150 cows. He went with 150 cows, and I will look for, I'll just support this because I had the video on that. So he was actually received very well. He had to be given the traditional stuff, and he had to actually offer them to the son of Raila Odinga. and also to go to the grave alongside other people from eastern side, and we saw a lot happening. So let me just retrieve that video of arrival at this place with 150 cattle. Yeah, I think it was this right here at Opoda Farm. So that was Kalonzo Musyoka with the 150 heads of cattle. And in the process, of course, we saw the son of Raila Odinga and Ida Odinga actually appreciating the presence of people from Eastern, and saying that their home is open to anybody who wants to mourn Raila Odinga, because he was a Pan-Africanist, a friend to many regardless of their religions and regions. He never cared to actually eliminate or choose who to visit his home. We also saw them gracing emotionally the grave, and I'll show that video as well. So we had different leaders actually being allowed to put their flowers to the grave. Look at this. Starting with Kalonzo Musyoka himself, then the rest of the leaders.
Could we have protocol present?
So all those leaders from Eastern actually had to bring flowers and present emotionally at the grave. And after that, we heard them speaking also. And some of them were speaking very fluent Luo. One of them shocking the audience, and we can listen to this.
Kijana Mkamba ambaye anaongea Luo na uchukue muda mrefu. Kennedy B. Jobondo untie? Jethuru untie? Wawuoso gi party leader mara miluongo ni Kalonzo Musyoka, wakowe wabimiu pole Mama Aida gi nyithindi Rosemary gi Winnie gi Junior gi Ruth wameyo pole. Wan Joe Wiper neno Woso gi baba miluongo ni baba neno wankode 2013 neno wankode 2017, lakini 2017 mama miyo ama adwa mpimo nokuye neno wachoga macha baba tumobelka baba wa matin macha baba tomatango baba wa matin mano Kalonzo kech baba weyowa di baba wa matin kiribika ni wa ichako wondowa ni ele akiene na wogya nene tafadhali wakwayo kiri wondowa kiri tugi ni baba jomoko
katakana mane ndio wane wiper baba ndio hewa.
I know you can do it. You have the passion. We will stand with you. Kwa hivyo Mungu awe nawe. Thank you. Now you have to try and do this. Naweka moja hapo namna hii. Elekeza pale. Shika pa. Ni hatari hiyo. Joey! Thank you. Asante sana. And I'll give you the shield as well. This one you have to unavaa hapa ili kienda vita officiali. Kienda vita hiyo. Kuna risasi ya kutosha. Well done. You have the ammunition. Alafu kalia kiti hiyo ulinde jamii ya my brother. Kalia hapo. Hey. Sawa. And you know your brother's your dad's signature fly whisk. Alafu hapa pia kuna hii ngao yenyewe. I don't know I can hold it. Tutachukua moja hapo. Chukua na hiyo. Sawa. Hapa sawa. Thank you. Joey. Asanteni. Thank you. Thank you.
So actually, Kalonzo Musyoka did a lot of traditional processes that no one had done while going to Bondo. And of course, we saw Orengo telling the people of Bondo that Kalonzo supported Raila twice. And therefore, it's now their time.
Senator Wambua was right. I've been in many meetings where people are discussing about who is going to be the candidate. And three times, Kalonzo has said, nakuachia wewe ndugu yangu Raila. In 2013, in 2017, and in 2022, where he said, I don't even need a position. If there's a principled man in Kenya, like Raila Amolo Odinga, is Kalonzo Musyoka.
So you can imagine Orengo had to endorse Kalonzo Musyoka, guys. So what do you imagine from this? So the speeches that were given in this place, including Mutula Kalonzo himself, and the indication that traditional passages right there, they have communicated a very heavy message, guys. And as we wait for Gachagua to come, because that is what Kalonzo Musyoka said in his speech, that they came because at one time they were almost killed with Raila, and that was a time that was very dangerous. And now it's high time they come around to actually see that he just died now a natural death without that which they had planned for him. So all that they said is that they are now ready and they are willing to have Gachagua visit Bondo. And the family said that they don't have a problem. So with the 100 cows, is it 100 or 150? 100 cows that Kalonzo Musyoka took to Bondo, that was a very, very, very clear message. And as we see a lot of stuff going on the internet, I don't know what you can say, but I don't, there is a lot actually we can cover, but we cannot cover all of that today. Of course, I've done a lot of videos. I may not be very effective now, but all that I've shared, I think it's of interest. So let us stay tuned as we continue pushing the gear here. Bye bye for now. Let's meet later.